Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what are we popping open today?
We're popping open a bottle of Spanish sage. This one just came out last year, 2022.
Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is I don't know, I think maybe I've used this once since I got it last September, but smelling it right now, I really like the smell. I'm like, why haven't I been using this?
It smells good. I smell the camphor and I smell herb, that combination. So I think automatically respiratory support with this one when I get the smell of it.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, that's not what comes up a lot of the time.
Interesting. Because, I don't know if it's camphor, but it smells kind of like eucalyptus to me.
That's what
and
I smell
it
too.
Smells like it's opening up my airways, but it's clean too. So it's an herb smell, but it's clean. It kind of reminds me of springtime.
Yes, I can see that post-rain smell.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny too, because I would have thought that this would smell like sage that's being burnt. You know how people like smudge their home and that type of thing. But I guess when I smell that, it's more smoky smelling. And obviously this isn't burnt oil. So I don't smell that. Although it does have a lot of the cleansing properties that people are looking for when they smudge their home by burning sage.
So this is going to sound funny what I'm about to say, but it says that it's a small evergreen shrub, which does not sound like what I think it should feel like. When I smell this, I feel like the leaves would be really that soft, almost velvety feel. That's kind of what I get when I smell the bottle, which I don't know. It's interesting how smells can elicit certain memories, sights, sounds, stuff like that. So I pictured this leaf to be soft and velvety, but it says it comes from an evergreen shrub. So I'm guessing that is not the case.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I agree. If I were to draw the smell of this plant, it would be something like lamb's ear leaves almost. So interesting.
This one can be used all three ways. And just because I like to be able to give a full review, I have already tasted this one by pressing it to the roof of my mouth. You saw my face expression when I first did it.
Let me know that I don't need to do this. But your facial expression wasn't disgust. It was kind of like a surprise.
Yeah, and I just did it again. I did it again because it already faded, honestly, which means it's not too bad because you're right. A lot of oils that you put in your mouth, they feel like they linger for a long time. It's got a little bit of kind of that herby mint, for the lack of better words that I can say, but it was unexpected. It wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's a little bit more camphor-y, I don't even know if that's a word, than, let's say, rosemary. Rosemary kind of had that herb and camphor menthol-y feel, and this feels a little bit more of that. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just not what I expected.
Yeah. Do you think it tastes like how it smells?
Ooh, maybe a little bit less herby taste than smell. That said, because this is internal use, this is not one that I would use in a recipe, in my opinion. I don't see this as a cooking oil, even though it's herby. I feel like this would be for a specific purpose of cognitive performance comes up a lot when you're looking into Spanish sage. So I guess this would be more drop of oil into a water and take a little shot of it. That feels like extra steps to me, though. Personally, I'd rather just press it to the roof of my mouth.
Yeah, well, and I would rather just smell it or rub it on me.
Or diffuse it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like those are easier ways. And so actually beforehand, I did just put a drop on the top of my head to, you know how I like just straight to the brain, straight to the source.
Yep. So, I mean, Heather's kind of said this, but this oil is like really good for memory and cognitive support. So definitely use it for that. I was just thinking there's so many people I talk to who post-COVID have had like a lot of brain fog and things like that. I wonder if this could help them in that sense as well.
Well, and one of the things that I wrote down from my notes when this oil came out last year was specifically that it clears out mental cobwebs
Mhm.
and kind of answers exactly what that does. I do like that it says that it's calming, but yet also brings a sense of alertness. So you can see where that would make you not feel over anxious if your mind's going a lot. It almost helps with the clarity of deciphering those different thoughts so that you can hopefully take a little bit more action on them instead of just feeling overwhelmed with everything that's going on. That's what I picture, at least.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Another description I wrote was just calm mind. So this would be a good one to reach for that. And that goes hand in hand with what you're talking about.
Well, the fact that it's opposing things I think is interesting too, because it says relaxed and uplifting. And honestly, even if you listen to our voices, now I'm the only one that took it internally, but we've both been smelling it. I
Yeah.
think that we don't sound calm like we have with other oils, but at the same time, I feel fine, like we're talking at our normal cadence, but I also don't feel hyper up.
Yeah, I
either.
feel like level, basically.
Yes, that's a good description.
And I definitely, just from smelling it, I feel that, which is awesome. I mean, I
Yeah.
wonder even if this would be a good one. Recently, there's been a few nights where I've worked really late, and I hate doing that. Like, I sleep so much better if I have at least an hour of just downtime. And I wonder if something like this would help turn off the brain that has the to-do list, so that I could relax faster.
I don't know. I almost feel like it could be a daytime diffuser oil, but then maybe massaged on the back of the neck at the end of the day. So the daytime diffuser, it talks about blending really well in the diffuser with peppermint and frankincense. And so I feel like, again, the frankincense is calming, but peppermint is uplifting. And I think helps with focus. So those three together would be really nice and just kind of be able to help you stay on track through your day. But then at the end of the day, massaging it onto your neck, which this one is great for post exercise and as massage blend as well. Then, like you said, you kind of clear out that extra stuff and just allow you to
settle down and relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and even I've read a lot on just how brain health, like one of the most important things you can do is get good sleep. And so if this is helping with memory, and then you pair it with sleep or as part of your wind down routine, I bet that, I'm going to try it tonight. Watch out, world. I'm going to get even better sleep.
And recently we were talking about Roman chamomile in the shower, and you were saying that because you're a daytime shower person, you haven't done a lot of the Roman chamomile with the shampoo recently because it is a calming oil. Yeah. This one would be really good for that too. So imagine taking a shower in the morning, rubbing this into the scalp with the shampoo. I feel like if you could turn on that alertness and focus part to start your day, would be good too.
I love these podcasts for this. And I definitely, like, just after this conversation, I'm going to put this in my shower because I am going to start using this oil.
The other thing that I feel like this would be good in the rotation for, and I have a couple oils that I use for this, is dry brushing. Because again, I'm not dry brushing my head necessarily, but I feel like just being able to kind of get it into the body. And I feel like this would almost be a little bit of a skin stimulant. I haven't tried it for that, but doesn't that feel like that would just kind of help wake things up too?
Yeah. And now that you say that, I wonder if it's cooling. So I'm going to put a drop on my hand because I have just been smelling it out of the bottle.
Yeah, I don't think I've tried this one topically yet.
So I think it is a little cooling. It's definitely not like peppermint.
All right, here we go. I am going to really smell like the Spanish sage for the rest of the day now. No, I agree. Maybe it's like,
it's subtle, right?
It's very subtle. It's just a different track, same track. Recently, we have been outside. It is start of soccer season. It is hot in Texas, people. It is hot.
It is so hot.
Even as a parent sitting in the shade waiting for soccer practice, it is hot. Sweat is rolling down my back. And I have been I either have the oils in my purse that I always have with me, or I have a cooling spray. If I don't have the cooling spray with me, I've been either taking peppermint or supermint and just putting it on the back of my neck. It does not stop the sweat, but oh my goodness, does it just calm down my internal temperature? It helps so much. Meanwhile, my daughter's over there like constantly spraying her face with one of those water fans. And she's like, do you want something? Like, no, I actually feel okay if I keep up with that. The cooling mist is peppermint and lavender. I think I have in it, and I'll just spray it on. Sorry, I know that was a side tangent, but that cool feeling, this kind of feels like it's not the minty part of it, but it just makes your skin just feel a degree cooler or so.
Yeah. Well, and then I just layered on top of it while you were talking, since I just rubbed Spanish sage on my arms and hands. I have the doTERRA rose lotion here and just put that on top of it. And man, I smell good. Like it's a good smell combo, but also my skin feels super soft now. So
okay,
a little spa treatment here in the middle of of our podcast.
Who knew? Somebody knew, but we didn't know, or we forgot that Spanish sage could be used for so many things.
Man, I can't believe we wasted a whole year not using this awesome oil.
One last thing, too, because I do remember when they were talking about the sourcing of this oil, but I didn't write a lot of notes about it. But when I look it up on their page, it talks about how only 5% of doTERRA Spanish sage is wild harvested. Most of it has to be grown and cultivated. The seedlings are planted at about 2,000 feet above sea level in the hills and makes it really hard to get to, but it also requires little to no irrigation. But they have to go up and they have to manually harvest it by hand because of where it is. And then they also have to distill it the same day. So I think it's interesting when we hear that some of these oils we really take for granted how they get to us in our homes. Yeah. And yet this oil, is being sourced in a more challenging way. And I want to take better advantage of it when people are up there on the side of the mountain sourcing this by hand for us.
Yeah, that's really cool. So I know we don't normally talk about the price on podcasts because the price could change. But as of right now, what is the price?
Only $29 wholesale, even though it's a harder oil to source. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Well, sold me on Spanish sage. So
funny enough, I don't know if you remember, but when they announced this oil, the audience went absolutely crazy. And I was like, okay, Spanish sage, what's special about it? But people in the audience seemed to know what it was for and really, really were excited about it. Do you remember the sound that happened?
I do, but I assume that's from people saging their home and smudging their home, which this definitely works like that. Like it does cleanse out negative energy, but this does so much more. Like, I think that's exciting, but I think the other stuff it does is even more exciting personally. But
and hopefully you don't have to smudge the home too many times, right?
Right. Yeah. Some people do it on a regular basis. So thankfully,
get this and you can simply diffuse it.
Yeah. And it's kind of like smudging your body, like smudge your own energy to protect you from others,
I like that.
And then I highly recommend putting the rose lotion on top of it. And it's lovely.
Okay, so we've got it with the shampoo in the shower. Then we are dry brushing with it. And then we're applying the rose hand lotion.
Yeah, you are so well protected.
Come at me, folks. Come at me.
Exactly. All right. Well, anything else on this oil?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we hope you've learned something new. We hope you've enjoyed this. We hope you go get yourself some Spanish sage because I think you'll enjoy it. And thank you so much for listening. We'll have a brand new episode for you next Friday.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.